Welcome back to Joshua chapter 10, verse 20. So Joshua and the Israelite army continued with the slaughter and completely crushed the enemy. They totally wiped out the 5 armies. These are the 5 armies arranged against them, against Gibeon, except for a tiny remnant that managed to reach their fortified towns. And the Israelites returned safely to Joshua in the camp at Makkedah. And after that, no one dared to speak even a word against Israel. See, there was a slight against Israel, and therefore a slight against the name of God. When surrounding nations saw the plight of Israel, it directly correlated with their view on Israel's God. And as a result of Joshua and the army fulfilling all that God wanted them to do in this particular scenario, the godly reputation of the nation was restored. And godly reputation, like any reputation, is built up over time, and it can be demolished in an instant. A bad decision, a lack of care, a thoughtless word or an action, and things come crashing and tumbling down so quickly. And even if that's happened with you, and if you feel that your godly reputation has suffered over the years, over the recent weeks, months, God wants to restore that. And he wants to restore it by working in us and through us once again, so that we feel that we are part of God's army as we go forward into whatever the future holds. We don't know the future, but we do know who holds that future. And sometimes as we look forward, we think, well, this is a scary place to be. We don't really know what's going to be happening. Well, we don't, but God does. And part of seeing a godly reputation restored is living a life of trust, living a life of faith, allowing God to work in us in such a way that we are indisputably his. I think I can confidently say that God isn't going to call you to go around killing people in the way that happened here in the book of Joshua. But he is calling you to think about the godly reputation that you have or had. And if it's had, he wants to restore that. He wants to bring it up to the fore again, so that people look to you as the person with God's solutions to the problems that they face, the challenges that there are in our lives today, which are inescapable. And yet in all of that, God is still doing incredible things in the lives of his people. And thereby, godly reputations are built, and in some cases rebuilt. And it's not too late to rebuild a godly reputation in your life. If you feel that things have gone awry, you can simply say to God, look, God, I realize that through the decisions that I made, the choices that I had, and I wasn't wise. I made mistakes. I went my own way. Lord, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Will you restore to me the joy of my salvation? Will you rebuild in me a godly reputation? That's very much the heart of the Father, and he loves to do that for his children.